Missing someone. Love is all you want. Missing someone. Love is
Yeah, so I just wanted your opinion because this is a picture that I sent you, but I'm like kind of scared with like my hair texture and everything to go that short. But
are you talking about the color or the color?
The cut.
Oh, the cut. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't know.
Okay. Have you had it that short before?
I haven't had it like that in a long time.
Okay. Here, let me.
And my face is like pretty round.
It's like right at the shoulder. I might, if you haven't had your hair short in a while, maybe we should just keep it a little bit longer, and then, since you're unsure, and then like if you want to cut it shorter, we can go shorter next time.
Okay.
And then what about the color?
The color like this.
Oh, you like the color like that too? Do you like how it looks slightly more dimensional at the root, but all the ends are pretty solid? Or do you want it to look more like that from root to end?
I like how it is in the picture, so I guess the bottom is just like this.
More solid?
Yeah,
Okay.
more solid.
Okay.
I don't know, I thought at the bottom it was like dimensional, but...
Like a little bit, but it's a
Yeah.
little bit more dimensional towards the root.
Yeah, like that.
And then do you want the front to be lighter like that, to have that front piece? It seems like you had that last time. You like
Yeah,
that?
I like to have like a little hair in my face, because like my hair is like, my face is like so round, so it looks better with some hair in it.
Do you like a curtain bang?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so like a curtain bang with like length to here. Is this your natural texture?
Yes.
Yes.
I just put like product in it, but
Okay, but
I
it's
don't
normally a little wavy.
a little wavy, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would probably keep, because you have a lot of hair. I feel like if I cut it too short, it'll jump up and then also kind of widen a little.
Yeah.
So I think keeping it around like this length, but also having those curtain bangs to frame it a little bit and take out a little weight would look really pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever you think is best, because I like just know how like my hair is, but yeah, like I was saying, like I don't want it to be like a big like broomstick, like how it can be sometimes.
Right. And then what's your color history really quick?
So I've been like dyeing my hair, like I'm naturally like dirty blonde. I've been dyeing it like since I was like 14, like blonde. And then I've gone like darker before, like very rarely though. Like I've gone like dark brown. And then that's pretty much it. Usually just blonde. I've never like done any colors. And like lately, like because I had my baby, like, earlier this year I've just been doing like kind of like a blonde, like a teddy bear blonde, but I don't really like it. I feel like
it's too dark.
Yeah, it's like I feel like with my skin colors that are like a little more ashy blonde.
I see. And by ashy blonde, are you
Like
saying
cooler.
like lighter?
Yeah.
Like icier?
Icier, yeah.
Okay. And all past color was done in a salon?
Yes. There was like one time that I did it myself, but it was like over a year ago.
Okay, what did you do?
I just made it darker
Okay, with
with like a box dye.
I see. That was a year ago? Okay. Okay, I'll try my best to get you as light as possible. Sometimes to get that like icy, it does take a couple sessions just to keep your hair healthy. But I'll definitely try to get you there today. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So this week I have a new client who wants to go a lot blonder, and she does want to chop her hair. So her roots are pretty grown out, and she also has pretty dark ends. I believe she said that she darkened them at some point, possibly with like a box dye at some point too. So we're gonna be working on blending out her root and also brightening up her ends, doing all the whole works basically. And I don't know if you guys can tell from this video clip, but guys, she has so much hair. It's very thick and she has a lot of it. Like, she was so blessed to have so much hair. I was really jealous about the amount of hair she had. But I wanted to share with you guys how versatile my placement is when doing a client who has a ton of hair like this, especially when they're wanting to do like a full transformation and try to go as blonde as possible. we are going to be going in with my signature placement. So I start in the back. I do a foil around the nape. I did a baby light right at her hairline. And then I did another diagonal back before I go into my mohawk section. That diagonal back above the baby light is a slice because since we're working with a lot of dark and grown out highlights, I want to get the most impact with each foil because she has a lot of hair and I want to get through this in a timely manner. And so I don't want to overthink it. I want to have something that is going to be super simple and just like a very straightforward roadmap for me to follow the next time when she comes in. So that is why I'm going to go in straight into my mohawk section. And this is based off of their part line. She's going to be parting in the middle, so we're doing it in the center. If your client does part to the side, you can start to slightly move the mohawk section according to their part. But we're going to be doing the middle, and I am just going to be going in. And honestly, when I'm doing this part, guys, I am trying to find the darkest strands of her hair. So as I'm slicing her hair, I want to make sure that my slices are nice and see-through. So I want to make sure that I get a really clean, even lift using the lightener. And another thing is I'm using the Danger Jones powder lightener. This lightener has 9+ levels of lift. You guys have heard me talk about this on my channel and rave about it so many times. And now I get to show you what it does on a natural level 7 with some color history of like maybe box dye and permanent color. I just want to show you the strength of it and the capability of the lifting power with this lightener. So with this lightener, I started off with a like diluted bowl of 20 volume, and when I say diluted, I just mean I add 5 volume into my bowl of 20 for that first round because I don't want to have to pull any foils while I'm foiling. So that first bowl I'll always do like 5 volume, 20 volume, and then the rest of the head I'm going to go in and pretty much just do 20 volume throughout everything else. And because this placement I'm able to get through it so quickly, I feel like that using that first bowl of like just like a weaker 20 volume, it's pretty much like a 10 volume or something like that, but it'll help catch up everything all together, and in the end I'm able to kind of rinse everything out in sections. So after I do the back mohawk, I'm going to start doing her money piece, and I'm keeping in mind that we're going to be doing a curtain bang like she said she wanted. Oh, before I started her highlights too, guys, I did chop her hair a little bit. You could see in the consultation from before her hair was so long and very heavy, and I always do like a rough haircut before I do the colors so that we don't waste color, but also because I want to put in at least like a rough idea of where the layers are going to be so that I know where I'm going to be cutting or where the color placement is going to be at the very end. So I just do a rough cut in the beginning, and then after all the color is done, I do finish up the haircut to make sure that everything is even and perfect and short enough for the client. So going back in after I do the money piece, I'm now connecting the rest of the mohawk with that money piece and just pretty much just doing slices for this part as I am still foiling her roots and everything. My assistant is going through and separating the hair because we're going to be doing tip outs. You can see that her old highlights are not light enough, so we definitely need to relighten them as well too. So when she's separating the hair as I'm foiling the root, she is separating the hair according to where the part is. So for this client, her part is going to be in the middle, so we are separating the hair down the middle. And this part is important when you're doing the tip outs because the location and which hair we're tipping out does make a difference. So after that, I'm doing the side money piece, and I do slices here just to kind of get it really light. But above the ear here, I'm going to do a little weave. I never really slice right above the ear because I find that since there was a curve at the hairline, if I were to slice there, it would create like a weird line or blend with the highlight. So I find that doing a weave definitely helps soften that because the foil is technically straight. So after that foil around the ear, I'm going to go in and pretty much do my slicing again. And as I'm doing this too, guys, since she has previous highlights, I am trying to avoid any highlights or pre-lightened hair. So if I see any pieces that are super blonde, I do move them out of the way, or I try to just saturate a little bit less with the lightener. So for the side tip outs, I made sure that we directed the hair towards the front, because when I do the tip outs and I paint them on, I'm directing them in front of her face. I tease and then weave, and I'm just trying to get as much possible. So I'll do like pretty much around the hairline first to make sure those pieces are nice and light, and when I'm painting the tip outs, I always try to do it at like a diagonal. So here I am pulling out her foils. I would say that some of it did lift a little bit uneven because of her previous color history. She did say that she did at one point do some box dye. So we are kind of fighting a bit of warmth on her ends there. That's why I'm kind of holding the hair together and trying to just lighten them up a bit before we rinse everything out. And we did explain that in the consultation, which is totally fine. We'll address lightening those pieces a little bit later, and we'll gradually get her to her goal. But overall, I feel like as a first session, from where she was coming from and her color history, her hair lightened really well. So we are going to be going in with the Danger Jones gloss toners for her toner formulation. So for her root, we did a very baby tap shadow root, and I used a 7-8. And then for her ends, we did a mixture of 10-2 and 10-3-2 because I didn't want it to get too ashy. I did still want a little bit of gold in there to help reflect some of that violet to keep her nice and bright. And we are doing the root tap first, and you can see I am now going in with that lighter shade, applying on the mid and then brushing it out, and just kind of going and seeing how the color is toning from there. But the lighter formula has mostly that 10-3-2 and then just like a little bit of that 10-2. And if you guys haven't tried the 10-3-2 or just the -3-2 series, which is a gold violet undertone, it is such a beautiful like blonde tone, or like blonde tone that is not too ashy and not too warm. It is just so gorgeous, and I feel like I've been using it on a lot of my blondes, even just like as a base or just as an like a kicker sometimes, to add in a little bit of more gold into it, and I love it. Alrighty guys, so here is the finished look. She is definitely so much blonder, and everything looks a lot more even. It's definitely not as quite light as her goal photo, but it is pretty close considering her color history. There are some pieces that still have a little bit of warmth, and she does have a bit more dimension, but honestly the next time when she comes in, it's going to be super straightforward. I'm going to go in with the same placement and just really pick out a lot of that dark and maybe lighten the ends a little bit if she likes or wants to, but for a first session I felt like this was pretty good. Alrighty guys, that is it for this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in, and as always, I will talk to you guys next week.